All right, we're back. So the internet has ushered in the most spectacular wave of opportunity that we have ever seen. Combined with social media, we have access to massive leverage in the business world. We have access to the most powerful education, marketing, and sales tools that have ever been available. You should seriously feel the gravity of this. See, in 2008 was the very first year that internet-based businesses sold more products than traditional department stores. Since then, they have continued to grow exponentially. While this chart ends in 2018, it is not a far stretch to forecast that e-commerce stores are bringing in over 4 times more money than traditional stores are today. I think it's pretty safe to say that this trend is not going to be changing directions anytime soon. In addition to e-commerce space, the e-learning industry is simultaneously exploding exponentially. As we discussed in the last video, the traditional education system is failing to deliver people the desired results, is outdated and incapable of keeping up with how quickly the world is changing. The process of creating a college course and textbook and getting it approved takes so long that by the time it is ready, most if not all of the information is going to be outdated. Think about this. 2 people want a career in business. Let's call them John and Sally. John decides to get a business degree while Sally decides to learn directly from 6- and 7-figure earners on the internet through e-learning courses. They both spend $100,000 and make a 4-year commitment to be successful. If you were to compare the two at the end of the 4 years, it's apples and oranges. It's not even close in terms of income generation. John hasn't even begun his first business and might not even know what he wants to start, whereas Sally is most likely generating 6 figures a year or more. On the other hand, John spent a good amount of his time in an overpriced dorm room with 3 other dudes, while Sally had full autonomy and opted to live in Thailand in a nice home with minimal overhead while getting to experience a different culture and many other comforts. Think $10 massages. You tell me, which one of the 4-year plans sounds better to you? I want you to understand, I make this example to point out the beauty of the opportunities we have now. And in a moment, I'm going to show you the scientific process to attaining unlimited business success. But first, we need to recap the 3 components to a successful business. In the first video you watched, I explained that success is an equation. Well, let me show you the exact equation. Offer times traffic divided by conversions is going to equal income or output. This is the business equation, period. You have an offer, aka a product, then you drive lots of traffic, aka eyeballs to that offer, and based on the quality of the offer and the quality of the eyeballs, you will derive a certain amount of conversions or sales. Now, traditionally, this is not a scientific process at all. Generating traffic or putting an advertisement in front of people required purchasing TV airtime, a billboard on a busy street, a spot in the newspaper, or paying expensive rent for a storefront in a good location. None of these things are cheap, and none of them give the possibility to accurately track the results. Think about all of the money that has been wasted on underperforming or completely useless media. A lot of the money is still being spent blindly by many companies today. Traditional advertisement could only target customers very broadly with one metric at a time. For example, what's the demographic that reads that magazine that your ad is printed in? Who watches the TV show that your advertisement is being shown with? It's very hard to go any deeper than this without split testing multiple different delivery methods for your media. However, split testing had to be done one ad at a time if there was going to be any amount of result tracking. See, try to split test more than one single traffic source at a time, and it becomes hard to tell which one is actually bringing new customers. In a world where advertisement has felt like a shot in the dark, the internet turned on the lights. Online marketing has turned business into a science. Do you remember learning about the scientific method back in grade school? Just to jog your memory, it's ask a question, do some research and construct a hypothesis, test it with an experiment, then analyze the results. If you're right, awesome. If not, keep testing new ideas until you get it right. Again, traditionally, this was near impossible when it came to our equation, because if any part of the equation is missing, you can't predict or measure the outcome. However, now it's possible to measure and test every aspect of a business system with crazy high accuracy and a very small amount of money. Think like $5 a day. And only commit to spending more money than that when you find the equation that is generating a profitable outcome. Never before have we had access to such robust and comprehensive data about our businesses in real time. We're absolutely blessed to be doing business in a time where social media platforms like Facebook and search engines like Google have allowed us to zoom way in on our customers. You can now choose to only show your media to people in certain age ranges that live in specific places, that enjoy specific things, that at certain times of the day, that make certain amounts of income. Really, there is infinite ways to target, and the internet allows you to find your customer with amazing detail. You can form your hypothesis, then test it along with a few variations with a small budget and only spend more money when you know it's a good fit. Much better than the spray and pray method of the traditional ad world. The internet has given us the gift of scientific entrepreneurship. A successful business is nothing more than our equation. Nowadays, all someone has to do to succeed is test the different variables to find a profitable outcome to the equation and then scale it up. So let's hop on the computer and I'm gonna give you a more visual example. All right, so here we are on the computer. And first things first, I need to break down how business works. For those of you that may be a bit more experienced, you may know a few of these things, or maybe you know most of this stuff. I still think it's very valuable and important for you to go through this, but keep that in mind. This may be a bit repetitive for you, but repetition's never bad. So it's always good for you to revisit this information if you are someone who's more experienced. If you're not, then you're gonna love this. You're about to gain a ton of value and really get a deep understanding of how business works and how to do it properly ultimately. So the first things first, over here in this slide, you can see on the left, you have the land of the internet. This is basically the global marketplace. And over here, you have people's desired results, what they want out of life, essentially. The land of the internet's a great place. There's all kinds of different entertainment. You got YouTube, you got Netflix, you got Instagram, you got Facebook, you got all the different things. Now, they do have these desired results. However, there's this treacherous river in the way. And people are not gonna cross through this river to try to get to the results because it's just too difficult. They have plenty of entertainment and fun things to do here. Why bother trying to do this treacherous trip across this river? Now, this is where we come in. As entrepreneurs, what we do is we build a bridge. We help people go from here over this bridge to their desired results. Essentially, we make it easy for them to go from the land of the internet, from the global marketplace to their desired results by building this bridge, by building a means to get there easily without too much hassle. So the next question is, what is this bridge made of? Well, this bridge is made of three main components. It is traffic, or eyeballs, offer, or a product, and conversions, or sales. Now, the challenge is most businesses don't even realize that these three components exist. And if they do, they're probably doing it wrong, which ends up to a lot of stress, challenging business, and an uphill battle just to try to get some results. The first challenge is they do not have enough traffic. See, for most businesses, traffic is an afterthought. They have this big idea, this exciting thing that they love or whatever it is, and they don't really think about the traffic side of it or the eyeballs that are coming to actually see what they have. And in their mind, it's just like, I'm gonna build this great product and then I'm gonna tell a few friends and it's gonna blow up. Or I'm gonna make a few social media posts on my Instagram and my company is going to 6 figures a year plus, right? Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. So that's the first challenge. The second challenge is businesses just choose the wrong offer. See, they pick something they love, but without it being a product market fit. What I mean is that, yeah, maybe you love this gadget or this idea that you had, but does the marketplace actually want this product? On the other hand, some people just pick something random, but it doesn't have the right profit margins, which makes it really difficult to be successful in that business. And finally, low conversions. See, most businesses have poorly designed systems, if any systems at all. Most don't really have compelling media to tell their story, and most also don't have software or automations in place to scale. So they're just doing a ton of extra work without much reward. So how do you do this properly? And maybe this is why you're here. You probably want a consistent and reliable income that you can generate from the comfort of your home. That's probably why you're here. And we're gonna give you the skills, the guidance, and the tools to do it right, once and for all. See, it's not about getting rich quickly. It's about getting rich for sure. And this is where a lot of people fall off. They try all those things. They go out and they're like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to become successful and build this business and have all these results. However, they don't actually know the way to do it properly. And their goal is just let me make money in a month or a few weeks from now, right? And maybe they make a little bit of money, but when they fall flat in the long term because they've just built a business incorrectly, essentially what they were trying to do was get rich quick. And the truth is, it's not about getting rich quick. Like I said, it's about getting rich for sure. So how do you do that? You do that by using leverage. Archimedes is famously quoted for saying, give me a place to stand and a lever long enough and I will move the world. And this is so true. If you have the right amount of leverage, you can absolutely transform your personal situation, your family situation, absolutely 180 your life. And what you need is leverage. You need leverage and a place to stand to use that leverage. So that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do. There's this principle called the Pareto principle, or the law of 80-20. And basically what it says is 80% of what you do only generates 20% of your results, but 20% of what you do generates 80% of your results. And basically I bring this up because there's a small amount of things that if you do them properly, you can have these massive results. And we live in a time with infinite leverage, but very few people are actually taking advantage of this. So the first question is, how do we take traffic or eyeballs and multiply it by leverage? We don't want to be adding things, we want to be multiplying by leverage, right? And so the way to do that is to actually automate traffic. So you don't want to have to worry about traffic on a day-to-day basis. You want to automate that process. And our favorite way to do that is through paid social media advertisements. So next is offer or product. How do you take an offer and multiply it times leverage? Well, it all comes to picking the right offer. And how do you pick the right offer? Essentially, you want to pick an offer that has a high profit margin or a high ticket offer. You can go sell a $1 thing 1,000 times and make $1,000, but it's a lot harder to sell a $1 thing 1,000 times than it is to sell a $1,000 thing one time. You see what I'm getting at? Your objective is to pick the right offer so that you can really experience the leverage of building a perpetual cash flow machine. Finally, conversions or sales. So how do you take conversions and multiply it by leverage? The way you do that is you create duplicating conversions. And the way this is done is through systems and software. See, we live in a day and age where there is an incredible level of software, automation, AI tools. We literally live in the exponential age. This is probably one of the areas where you can get the most leverage, is through actually using systems and softwares. And through these systems and softwares, you essentially have the ability to take yourself and clone yourself, creating duplicating conversions, meaning every new person in your business becomes its own franchise and allows you the ability to generate even more cash flow without any more effort on your part. So when you take all three of these components, you take automated traffic, high profit offers, duplicating conversions, and you multiply it times leverage, you essentially get the three component on roids. And this equation equals a perpetual cash flow machine. Now that you have an understanding of what we do and why we do it this way, let me show you how to actually run a scientific business. And it is actually pretty simple. This is the equation. It's O times T divided by C. Offer times traffic divided by conversions equals the output or the income. So let me break down how this works. Essentially, what we're doing is we're going to be placing these ads. Like I was talking about, the way you get leverage with traffic is to get automated traffic, automated eyeballs into the system. And so we run these media ads, they run eyeballs to a page where we get to capture their information. We get to capture their names, we get to capture their emails, we get to capture their phone numbers, allowing us to drive all of this traffic to our offer. We have our irresistible offering that helps people make an educated decision if they actually want to move forward. And if they move forward, that's where we derive our conversions, right? Once this conversion happens, we generate that income on the conversions. Now, what's beautiful about this and why this is a scientific process is on every single step of the way, we have metrics and data. And so we can find out how much does it cost for a click or an eyeball? How much does it cost for actually capturing someone's information? How much does it cost for someone to watch our offer? How much does it cost to generate a conversion? And then we can look at all those metrics and figure out where can we improve it? How can we make it better? How can we make it perfect? How can we make it generate more income? And this is the scientific process, right? You have a hypothesis. Then once you have that hypothesis, you run the experiment. And based on the results, you can then run a new experiment with the new data and information that you have. Basically, when you generate this conversion, you can now assess the entire process and you can say, okay, cool. I'm looking at these different advertisements that we're running, and it turns out that this one's terrible and doesn't really generate good results. This one's so-so, but this one is incredible. And now you have the ability to re-inject that profit that you generated into the most profitable avenue, allowing you to run a scientific business. You actually have data and can run a business based off of data, metrics, numbers, essentially science, right? And so this is how you actually build the system and create a process that allows you to scale and actually get the results that you want from running an online business. So just to wrap this up, I want you guys to understand that in order to get to where you want to go, you need a good, consistent plan. You need training and you need support along the way. We want to give you the support that you've desired for the first time ever so that you can get the results that you truly deserve. See, we already have the plan. We've built the training and the systems, and we're ready to support the people who actually finish this process, who go through the entire discovery process, who book their call and attend their discovery call and qualify to move forward with us and what we've put together here. Again, this is an advanced piece of technology that we're ready to essentially hand you, but we want to make sure that you're someone who's going to utilize this technology and really see those transformative results in your life. By now, you hopefully understand the beauty of being able to run a business in a scientific way. This is literally a win-win for everybody, including the consumers. See, consumers are now able to find products that are a perfect fit for their needs instead of making it work with the one-size-fits-all solution that are available in most stores. They are able to get their needs met with massive convenience, often never even having to leave their house. They also don't have to sift through endless miscellaneous ads because they are being shown more and more ads that are actually specifically tailored to their needs. Now, for entrepreneurs, online business has allowed them to dramatically increase the precision of their business. This means less money spent on advertising, rent, and other overhead, which has made getting into business much more affordable. Not to mention increased flexibility in work schedule, location, and other lifestyle perks. These days, there's really no reason to go into traditional business unless you are extremely passionate about serving coffee or food or other things that can only be done in person. If lifestyle with lots of freedom is the goal, online business is the best way to go. There are literally countless 1 to 3 person teams making 6 and even 7 figures every year with internet-based businesses. It has never been easier to replicate these types of results, especially with a plug-and-play system like ours that has already solved the equation. But we'll get into more of that later. The opportunity to get your own perpetual cash flow machine is massive, but we found that certain types of people are most equipped to take full advantage of it. With that, I'll catch you guys in the next video.